It's a source of frustration for taxpayers. People convicted of serious crimes allowed to remain in taxpayer-funded public housing projects.
And as Erica Engel tells us tonight, that'll no longer be a taxpayer burden in a story that's new at 10. Erica?
That's right. As with many laws, this one is based on a real-life situation when the president of a public housing tenant association was convicted of stealing $1,400 from the association. He was evicted, but the state Supreme Court overturned it, allowing the man continued residency.
There's not a taxpayer in the state of Hawaii that would say it's okay if you live in public housing to commit fraudulent crimes, to embezzle $1,400, to commit domestic violence, to commit drug offenses, or assault on other people. I think anybody that does break the law, especially if they're in public housing, they need to be evicted, and this law does that.
The law has been years in the making after the state lost in a previous eviction attempt.
So you had a legal conviction, a person who embezzled, basically stole $1,400 from the state public housing authority. So legally, by the court system, he was convicted of a felony. Then when they evicted him, the Supreme Court ruled that it was an improper eviction.
The eviction conviction bill became law in July. Today, the Hawaii Public Housing Authority released a statement saying, when a tenant commits a felony related to the authority's property or its employees, or commits a felony related to the authority's funds, that person abuses their privilege as a tenant of the HPHA. We asked about innocent spouses and children of felons facing eviction, whether they could ask to remain in the units. The authority statement says family members will be heard. Eviction hearings deal with unique circumstances and are handled by an eviction board of 3 members of the public, where 1 member must be a public housing resident.
I think public housing has an important segment in society, helps people get back on their feet. I like it so long as it's transitional. It's getting that person to independence, and eventually they can maybe leave public housing and get an affordable rental unit or buy a house.
The Housing Authority says there have been no evictions under the new law yet. And again, if the person whose name is on the lease is evicted, the rest of the family can ask to stay. Back to you.